going to Italy.
We arrived at the airport, and after going through security, we made our way to our first plane, which was 2 hours long. Then we got onto the big plane that was the cross-Atlantic journey all the way over to Germany. This flight was about 10 hours, where then we finally got on our final flight that was also 2 hours long and arrived in Rome. We finally made our way to my grandma's apartment where we'd be staying for the next 10-ish days before we went to Spain, which is in my next video. Now technically today was day 1 in Rome, but due to all the traveling we used it as more of a rest day, and so not too much happened today. It was mainly just food, groceries, a little bit of sightseeing, and rest. Alrighty, so it is currently the 3rd day in Rome. So far, we have visited a couple places. We went to what's called El Ghetto and got some of the best pizza you can find in Rome, as well as walked around, did some grocery shopping. We also got some delicious gelato. The flight here was extremely long. I think I was awake for almost 30 hours straight, and the entire trip total was well over 24 hours. And basically the plan for today is to go to the center of Rome, explore a bunch of different cool places, and one of the places that we're going to be going to is one of the tallest buildings, and it has the best view of Rome. And when you're at the top of it, it's like 360 basically, and you can see the entire city. And the plan for the rest of this trip is to obviously explore all of Rome, and then we're going to be going to Florence, which I've never been to before. I've been to a lot of places in Italy, but sadly I've never been to Florence. So that'll be really cool. And then after the Florence trip, we will be going to Spain. I went to Barcelona last year, but we will be going to Madrid this time and a small city called Valencia. So that'll be really cool. I'm not too sure about all the things we have planned for there. I know there's a lot of stuff to do, but that'll be an awesome part of the trip. This trip is about 3.5 weeks long. And so today's only the 3rd day, so there is a lot to still do and explore. And I hope you enjoy the journey with me. Today we ventured to a bunch of different places around the city. We started at what's called the Wedding Cake. This is one of my favorite buildings for its architecture and just the sheer size of it.
Bro is just chilling.
We walked up several staircases up to the top, and then once we took a trip around the backside, there's an elevator that takes you to the rooftop for the amazing view of Rome.
The entry fee to go to the top is only a couple euros, so it's completely worth it. Being able to view the entire city like this was really cool, and we even made a couple of seagull friends. We decided to head back down the elevator and check out the inside of the building. There is a museum that you can check out. It was an additional pass to the tickets we got for the elevator, so we did not do it this day. We kept walking and made our way over to the Pantheon, where nearby I got this tasty treat called the Granita di Caffè con Panna. And it's basically shaved ice with espresso, sugar, and whipped cream on top. Now, I've been inside the Pantheon many times before, but today was sadly super crowded and we hadn't made previous reservations for the tickets to go inside. So we kept on walking and I made our way to this very unique and kind of wacky mini museum. And it even had a nice little cool bar inside where we got some food. Our next stop was Piazza Navona. It's a center square that has a bunch of awesome architectural buildings, a fountain, and a bunch of people gather here and do all sorts of festivals and different things. Now I noticed this street art over here, and most of the times a lot of these are scams and fakes and the artists aren't actually the real people doing the art, but this guy was. So we watched him draw this girl for a little while, and it was really cool. One of the next stops we made, even with all my past times being in Rome, I'd actually never been to it before. And I think it might have become one of my favorites, and that is the Castel Sant'Angelo. It's a really old fortress. And now for our final stop of the day, we walked down through the Vatican City over towards St. Peter's Basilica. Been walking for miles and miles. My hair's terrible, but anyways, my legs are on fire. But we visited a lot of cool stuff today, so I'm pretty happy about that. Got to see a lot of cool shit. Got to take a lot of awesome photos and videos, so can't complain. After this, we headed to a nearby metro station and ended off the day by heading home. Had to make sure to get to bed, as I would need the sleep for the following day, where we would be heading to Florence. Had quite the eventful morning this morning. Apparently, I needed my passport, which I did not have on me, and we realized that as we were about to get on to the subway, and so I had to run 4 whole blocks back home
grab my passport, and then run another 4 blocks all the way back to the subway, make it in time. And we still made it to the train station in time to get on the big train so we go to Florence. And I somehow managed to run those 4 blocks in 5 minutes. There and back from the subway station to the apartment in 5 minutes. And so we made it on time because I'm just so amazing. So, yes. So I got my early morning sweat in already. Now we're on the train headed to Florence. As we arrived to Florence, I prepared myself to experience all the sightseeing for the first time, as most of the things so far in this trip I had already all seen before due to having family that lives in Rome. I have visited many times, but I've never been to Florence, so this was a cool experience to sightsee all this stuff and document it for the first time. So first up on our list, and probably the coolest place in Florence, is the Florence Cathedral, also known as the Cathedral of St. Mary. We then went inside this Lindt chocolate place, and holy cow, their variety of chocolates were crazy. This is probably some of the best chocolates you can find in Italy. I'm not sure if they're a national brand. They might be, but anyways, their quality of chocolate is extremely good. Next up, we made our way over to the center square. I've been in Florence for a couple hours now, exploring around, and this is the most cardio I've ever done, to be honest. I definitely need to get my cardio up, but anyways, lots of walking, legs are on fire, lots of cool stuff to be seen. Florence is pretty chill. It's pretty chill. It's like, I mean, all of Italy is the land of art, but Florence especially is like the city of art, so it's really cool. Crazy hair. Anyways. We made our way over to Ponte Vecchio, which is the iconic bridge in Florence, and it is filled with luxury shops full of jewelry, watches, and all sorts of diamonds and gold. Towards the end of the Florence trip, we got some food as it started raining, and so we went in this underground spot towards the train station and headed home. Now today was much more of a chill day. We went over to my grandpa's neighborhood and hung out with him for a little while before I got a haircut. And then we went around to the center of Rome near the Colosseum. And a quick food tip about gelato: never buy gelato from touristic places. And the easiest way to know is if they have bright, unnatural colors, as well as gelato that rises above its containers. After grubbing up on some really nice food, we walked over to the Colosseum, probably the most iconic spot in all of Italy. This is probably everyone's favorite spot. If you ever go to Rome or Italy in general, this is the spot that you cannot miss.
We then walked past the arch and onto some of the oldest tiles and pathway that are from ancient Rome. Now, today was probably one of my favorite days throughout the entire trip, as it was just one of the most beautiful places I have ever been to, and for that reason I'm not going to do much talking, and I'm simply going to let you enjoy. So, you made it to the end of the journey. I appreciate you for watching this entire video and coming along with me through traveling Italy. My next video will be my trip to Spain, which I'm looking forward to a lot. I'm excited to share that trip with you as well. And if you haven't already and you enjoyed this video and are looking forward to the next one, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks.